Testing 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our opening ceremony is about to begin.
Dosennya atau sedikit. Tutup aja dulu.
Of University and 9 Banjar with the theme of United Against COVID-19 Pandemics and Psychology. First of all, let us pray to the Almighty of God for His presence and His blessings so we are able to gather online at the International Seminar today. It's been a great honor for me, Liana Pita Rahimi SPC, to be presenting here and welcome each and every one of you in this meeting. And also, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Excellency, Director of Lembaga University, or the representative, the Excellency, the Dean of Medical Faculty, or the representative, dear Head of Psychology Department, Mrs. Neka Eliani, MPC Psikologi, dear the Chairpersons of the Online KKN 2020 Committee of Psychology Department, Mrs. Medisa Utamitanau, MPC Psikologi, together with the Organizing Committee of Online KKN of Psychology Department, Medical Faculty of Pemateri University. Also for the Chairpersons of Online KKN of Psychology Department, Medical Faculty of Pemateri University, Mr. Muhammad Syarif Hidayatullah, MPC Psikologi. The Excellency, the speaker from Pakistan, Dr. Naveed Ahmed Khan, thank you for joining us in this meeting. The Excellency, speaker from Malaysia, Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN YUNUS, thank you very much for joining us in the meeting. Dear Head of Region 1, 2, and 2, or the representative from Sungai Sipal Village in Banjar Regency, and the Excellency, distinguished guests, invitees, and participants of the International Seminar of Psychology Department, Medical Faculty of Pemateri University, may you always be happy, and thank you for participating in this event. All participants, the agenda for our seminar today is as follows. First, the opening. Second, greetings. Third, the main agenda. And the last is the closing. Entering the first agenda, let us open with the event today by saying Basmalah. And the next agenda is the speech. The first speech will be delivered by the chairpersons of the organizing committee for this online international seminar, as well as field supervisor, Mr. Muhammad Syarif Hidayatullah, MPC Psikolog. Mr. Syarif, time is yours, please.
Okay, right. Thank you for area. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Good morning everybody. Honorable Rector Universitas Islam or representative. Terima kasih Ibu Lisna Rahmawati. Honorable Dean of Faculty of Medicine Universitas Islam or representative Ibu Dr. Istiana, thank you for your coming. Head of Undergraduate Program in Psychology, Ibu Neka Eliani, MPC Psikologi, and of course, honorable of speakers for today, Dr. Naveed Ahmed Khan and Dr. Ahmad Rozelan YUNUS. Thank you for your coming, for your time, and willing to be present to share knowledge to us. And respectable to all of audience, especially for warga Kelurahan Sungai Sipai, and of course I'm very proud to Kelompok 9 kuliah kerja nyata Kelurahan Sungai Sipai, Kabupaten Banjar. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let us thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for the abundance of grace and the joy of all of us can still gather in this event without any barriers and at all, and in good health, of course. Not forgetting for salawat and salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has brought us of the dark age to the era of bright light today. The current condition of the COVID-19 pandemic is a condition that is overwhelmed by uncertainty and pressure that come from various sources and affect a level of society. This condition centrally provide and influence both physically and psychologically for individuals and society. People become more at risk to experience various mental problems such as stress, anxiety, psychosomatic symptoms, and others. And as we know, the number of positive cases continues to increase in South Kalimantan, over 5,000, and specific untuk Kabupaten Banjar over 500, which is a pressure on the mental condition of the community. So let's get together and unite against COVID-19. Finally, thanks everyone who support our event. Terima kasih sekali lagi untuk thank you once again for speakers. Terima kasih untuk moderator Ibu Ratna, terima kasih untuk MC Ria Novita Rahimi dan para hadirin sekalian. And I apologize, saya minta maaf for any mistakes. Thank you very much for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, come back to Ria.
It's yours, please.
Sorry, ini waktu saya ya?
Iya, Dok.
Iya.
Dr.
Okay.
Isti.
Sorry, Ria. Your sound is so noisy. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for Master of Ceremony. Good morning all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Rector of Lambung Mangkurat University, or representing in this case is represented by the Head of Academic Bureau, Mrs. Lisna Rahmawati. How are you, Mrs.? The Honorable Head of Psikologi Study Program, the Honorable all of Speaker, Dr. NAVEED Ahmad Khan from Pakistan, and Dr. ROZELAN YUNUS from Malaysia, and the organizing committee for this seminar, and all of participants. First of all, let us pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who gives thousand favors to us until this day, so we can join in this international seminar. Allow me to convey my appreciation. Thank you to chairperson of the committee and all members which have prepared this seminar. Thanks to all speakers who are willing to give your knowledge to all of us today. Theme of seminar today is United Against COVID-19, Pandemic and Psychology. We know that pandemic of COVID-19 still rise of cases, especially in Indonesia. This is very important to me to say that Faculty of Medicine Lambung Mangkurat University is considering to working hard together with task force for recent response pandemic COVID-19. Faculty of Medicine provides a team or related experts such as epidemiologists, clinician, and psychology team to assist in the fight with COVID-19. I hope that today's international seminar activity will increase our knowledge about the role of psychology in this pandemic. Maybe that is I can say in the forward, and I apologize if my forward in there is less acceptable or have forgotten. I finish up. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, back to Ria. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Isti, for the speech. Then the third speech will be delivered by Director of Lampung Mangkurat University, or as the representative, Mrs. Hajah Lisna Rahmawati, MPD, as the Head of Academic and Student Affairs. And also will officially open the online International Medical Faculty of Lampung Mangkurat University today. Mrs. Lisna, time is yours, please.
Terima kasih Ria atas kesempatannya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mohon maaf sebelumnya, saya hanya dengan bahasa Indonesia karena pesertanya juga sebagian besar kita dari Indonesia. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada Ibu Dr. Istiana, Wakil Dekan 3 Fakultas Kedokteran. Yang terhormat terima kasih dan yang terhormat Ibu Dr. Istiana, Wakil Dekan 2 Fakultas Kedokteran, yang kami hormati Ibu Neka Erliani, MPSP Psikologi, yang terhormat Ibu Moderator dan Panitia, yang terhormat juga Bapak Sarip Hidayatullah, yang kami hormati Bapak narasumber Dr. NAVEED AHMED Khan from University Pakistan, yang kami hormati Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN YUNUS from Malaysia. Yang kami hormati khususan kepada para peserta seminar series Prodi Psikologi Fakultas Kedokteran Universitas Lampung Mangkurat tahun 2020, serta undangan yang berhadir pada hari ini. Puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala yang telah memberikan kita nikmat umur panjang, nikmat kesehatan, sehingga kita semua bisa bertemu dalam acara Seminar Internasional Series Prodi Psikologi ULM tahun 2020. Meskipun hanya melalui webinar, tetapi tidak mengurangi kualitas dan manfaat yang akan kita ambil dari seminar ini. Salawat dan salam kita haturkan keharibaan junjungan Nabi besar Muhammad SAW yang selalu menjadi suri tauladan bagi kita semua dalam tindakan kita sehari-hari. Sebelumnya saya ucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Ibu Neka Erliani selaku Ketua Prodi yang telah melaksanakan seminar internasional pada hari ini beserta panitia yang tentunya dengan susah payah untuk melaksanakan ini. Terima kasih yang tidak terhingga kepada narasumber. Thank you, Dr. NAVEED AHMED Khan from University Pakistan, Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN YUNUS from Malaysia. Dan yang terkhusus terima kasih kami sampaikan pada seluruh peserta yang akan mengikuti seminar pada hari ini. Kami bergembira sekali hari ini pesertanya sekitar 131 orang yang terdiri dari mahasiswa, dosen, umum, selain daripada Universitas Lampung Mangkurat, juga dari Pulau Jawa. Kemudian yang terima kasih sekali kami sampaikan, kami ucapkan kepada peserta dari Malaysia, kemudian dari Pakistan. Sungguh luar biasa, kami mengapresiasi sekali pelaksanaan seminar internasional pada hari ini, yang mana mengambil tema yang sangat luar biasa tentang COVID-19, yaitu dengan tema United Against COVID-19 Pandemic and Psychology. Kalau tidak salah saya artikan bersatu dalam melawan COVID-19 Pandemic Psychology. Melalui sambutan ini, saya mewakili Rektor Universitas Lambung Mangkurat yang hari ini kebetulan acara di waktu yang sama, jadi acara yang sama pada hari ini, serta Wakil Rektor semua juga di acara yang sama. Bahkan hari ini saya 2 acara membuka menua dan lanjutkan dengan acara seminar ini. Beliau menyampaikan, Pak Rektor menyampaikan, mohon maaf dan selamat berseminar. Semoga acara berjalan dengan lancar. Para hadirin yang berbahagia, tema kegiatan ini sangat penting dan bermanfaat sekali bagi kita semua. Karena saat ini kita menghadapi, bahkan dunia menghadapi wabah yang banyak sekali merenggut nyawa saudara-saudara kita. Bahkan begitu banyaknya petugas medis yang gugur sebagai pahlawan kemanusiaan. Mari kita berdoa sejenak untuk mendoakan semua yang gugur dalam wabah COVID-19 ini. Mari berdoa. Semoga mereka yang gugur mendapat tempat yang layak di sisi Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Amin. Hadirin peserta seminar yang berbahagia, sekali lagi selamat untuk Prodi Psikologi yang berhasil menampilkan 2 narasumber yang hebat-hebat ini. Thanks sekali lagi, thank you Dr. AHMED NAVEED AHMAD Khan, dan Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN YUNUS yang sudah bergabung untuk mengisi acara kita pada hari ini. Kami harap peserta semua dapat memanfaatkan waktu dengan menyimak apa yang disampaikan oleh narasumber, dan kami harap seminar internasional lainnya akan menyusul. Para hadirin seminar yang berbahagia, dengan adanya kegiatan seminar tentang COVID-19 ini dapat memberikan dan menjadikan upaya aktif untuk masalah wabah pandemik COVID-19 ini, sehingga bisa memberikan masukan yang konstruktif untuk pemangku kebijakan negara masing-masing peserta. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, dengan mengucapkan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, acara Internasional Online Seminar Series dengan tema United Against COVID-19, Pandemics and Psikologi dengan resmi saya nyatakan dibuka. Semoga acara ini bisa berjalan dengan lancar dan bermanfaat bagi kita semua. Semoga Allah selalu melindungi kita. Saya sudahi dengan ucapan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mrs. Lisna, for the speech, and thank you for all the speech. Okay, so before we go to the main agenda, we will have a photo session with the speaker and the audience. So everyone, please kindly activate your camera. We will take a photo session first.
Halo. Halo, assalamualaikum Pak Ustaz.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yes. Hello. Any instruction from committee?
Is there any instruction?
Yang memandu siapa ya?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, this is AHMAD ROZELAN. Anyone can notify me that you are hearing my voice. Do you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Mister,
yes,
I can hear
Okay, so everyone,
Okay.
Alfian.
So,
Muhammad Alfian, bisa dipandu Muhammad Alfian.
Okay, sure. Actually, we already record this meeting so that we can continue into another agenda, so that the MC could take over.
okay, I will continue our agenda. I apologize for the connection trouble. And now we're coming to the main agenda with the theme of United Against COVID-19, Pandemics and Psychology, which I'll hand over to the moderator, Ms. such as awardee for summer course in Maastricht University, the President of Indonesia. And first, I invite Mrs. Ratna Setianingrum, SKM MSc, to take over.
Okay, thank you for the Master of Ceremony. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the online international seminar, United Against COVID-19, Pandemics and Psychology. I am Ratna Setianingrum. As a moderator, will guide the seminar today. The current condition of COVID-19 pandemics doesn't only affect people's physical, but also psychological conditions, such as stress and other psychosomatic symptoms. Another effect that we will face is the economic effect. To provide information and new insight, today we already have two speakers who will deliver speeches about the impact of a pandemic on the mental health and technopreneurship and self-healing that we can do at home. Before we starting the main agenda, I request that to all participants to mute the audio, and before the speaker presents the material, I would like to say some provisions of this program. Every speaker will have 30 minutes to speak, and we will have a question-answer session for 30 minutes that will be handled by MC at the end of the session. Well, we will move to our main agenda. I will invite our first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. NAVEED Ahmed Khan. He is the Director of Education of Army Public Education Institution and a lecturer at Sheikh Zaid Medical University, Pakistan. He will provide material with the title Pandemic's Impact to Mental Health. Before he starts his presentation, I will read a summary of his curriculum vitae. Dr. NAVEED Ahmed Khan, he is an educationist, psychologist, an attitudinal trainer, and motivational speaker to some organizations, individuals, and professional teams. He inspires and informs people, helping them realize their true potential. Some award that he achieved is Ummah Welfare Trust, WISE Conference in Dubai, Anti-Narcotic Force in Pakistan, and many other achievements. Dr. Naveed Ahmed Khan also conducted numerous sessions across the globe in 24 countries and in Pakistan at Directorate of Training and Research, Government of Pakistan. He also offers motivation seminar, training and workshop, services that range from teacher training. Okay, to the Honorable Dr. Khan, you will have 30 minutes to speak. Time is yours. Sorry, Dr. Khan, maybe you can unmute the audio first.
Thank you.
Perfect.
First of all, I would hello everyone. Are you listening me now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. First of all, I would like to greet you in the Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I would like to congratulate the organizing committee for organizing such a very important seminar on the topic of United Against the Pandemic. My point of discussion is pandemic effects to the mental health. About me, there is a short introduction which is already in this seminar. We will discuss the following things. We will have a short introduction about the pandemic. Then we will have I'm now reading the table of contents. Corona positive stigma. Then also we will discuss psychosocial burden of quarantine and isolation. We will discuss netizens and social media and COVID-19. Also, we will discuss psychosocial impact on healthcare providers, especially the frontline workers, the doctors, the police. We will also discuss effects of different section on the of the pandemic on the society. Home quarantine for homeless populace. We will also discuss effects on people with pre-existing psychiatric illness, and last but not the least, we will discuss a role of mental health care workers and future direction and conclusion. First of all, I would like to discuss a little bit about the introduction. Human civilization is probably passing through the most critical juncture of this millennium, while the existing is being challenged by the emergence of a virus, SARS family virus, encroaching to newer territories each and every day. The 2019 coronavirus, shortly known as COVID-19, is declared a public health emergency on January 30 by World Health Organization, as the disease first reported from China in December 2019. Continues to surge and affect many countries and even continents like Europe, America, Asia, severely and still widening its burden. A wide fragment of population is currently primarily restricted to their home, owning a national and international lockdown. Home confinement strategies implemented by the majority of countries after China. This unpredictable, fast-spreading infectious disease has been causing universal awareness, anxiety, and distress. all of which, according to WHO, are natural psychological responses to the randomly condition. That's why we will discuss this today. Adverse psychosomatic outcomes among common people are nevertheless expected to increase significantly due to the pandemic itself, and also due to the constant flow of readily available information. The more you know about the pandemic, the more you will have the mental stress and issues. And reinforced messaging obtained via online social networking, almost all forms. As a consequence, rapidly expanding mass hysteria and panic regarding COVID-19 may begin enduring psychological problem in public from all the socio-economic domains, which could potentially be even more detrimental in the long run, more than virus itself. Remember one thing, this is a very, very important point, that the psychological effect and the psychological problems in the public form will have more detrimental effects than the virus itself. Prior study told us that the mental well-being had been heavily affected in this form of global pandemic. There is a short introduction graph, if you see. Also, I try it for you. It will have all the outcomes from the pandemic. Now we are going to discuss the first point of the mental health, corona positive stigma. Disease-associated stigmatization among the sufferers from 2003 SARS outbreak was remarkably evident even after years of exposure, making it difficult for many when restarting the usual custom of the day-to-day life. Even they will have a very social stigmatization they had during the SARS 2003, and they will have in the corona also. Healthcare providers, particularly general practitioners involved in SARS-affected patient care, were found to be more prone to stigmatization. I'm talking about the 2003 SARS outbreaks. Similarly, the COVID-19 outbreak may also give rise to stigmatization factors like fear of isolation, racism, discrimination, and marginalization, with all its social and economical ramifications. It is a very important point, the first point which we are discussing today, that is stigmatization. A stigmatized community tends to seek medical care late and hide important medical history, particularly of travel, due to this problem. This behavior in turn will increase the risk of community transmission. Even we had this problem in Pakistan also. Many people, when they come from out of the city or out of the country, they hide their travel history due to the stigmatization and due to this mental issue, which in turn affected the transmission rate very highly. The WHO has also issued specific psychosocial consideration for abating the growing stigma of COVID-19. It is one of the most important factors. Health crime originated out of the fear of being corona positive has also been reported in India, even in some part of Pakistan, and also in other countries. Especially in underdeveloped countries, they had these issues. The stigmatization point is very much important and need to be addressed at this level to overcome the fear of stigmatization. Third, we will discuss the psychosocial burden of quarantine and isolation. COVID-19 has required many countries across the globe to implement early quarantine measure as the fundamental disease control tool. Apart from physical suffering, the consequences of this quarantine on mental health and well-being at personal and population level are many folds. Imposed mass quarantine applied by nationwide lockdown programs can produce mass hysteria, anxiety, distress due to factors like sense of getting cornered and loss of control, even economical issues. This can be intensified if families need separation by uncertainty of the disease progression, insufficient supply of basic essential, financial losses, increased perception of risk, which usually get magnified by the bad information and improper communication through media in the early phase of pandemic. It was a very big issue, especially in countries like India, in Pakistan. It had a very bad effect in the initial stages. Previous outbreak has reported the physical, psychological impact of quarantine can vary from immediate effect like irritability, fear of contracting and spreading infection to family members, anger, confusion, frustration, loneliness, denial, anxiety, depression, loss of sleep, insomnia, despair, and to some of the extreme of consequences including suicide. Even many people committed suicide after getting a positive of corona and all these things. Suspected isolated cases may suffer from anxiety due to uncertainty about their health status and develop OCD symptom, obsessive compulsive symptoms such as repeated temperature check and sterilization and repeated hand washing and these things. So most commonly they will develop OCD. Effects of such post-traumatic stress disorder have been reported also. PTSD is reported, symptoms of which have been positively associated with the quarantine. Also, if we discuss about the post-quarantine period, so post-quarantine psychological effect may include significant socio-economic distress. It is one of the major problem which is expected in the post-quarantine or post-COVID-19, and psychological symptom due to financial loss. Many people will have psychological problem due to financial loss. Another very important aspect is stigmatization and societal and social rejection regarding in the quarantine cordon in form of discrimination, suspicion, and avoidance of the neighborhood. These things are reported in the major countries like India, in Pakistan, and these countries. The rejection and the discrimination and the avoidance of the neighborhood, insecurities regarding the properties, workplace, and withdrawal from social event even after the containment of pandemic. Its CPs are also likely to pursue greater stigmatization than general public. It is also a psychological effect expected in the post. Children who are or suspected to be infected with COVID-19 and needed isolation and quarantine might require social attention to meet their fear, anxiety, and other psychological effects. Compliance to post-home quarantine is often being violated in India, unlike in other countries. It is one of the major factors, psychological factors. Although there are many things which are related, critical analysis of the delinquent people psyche need further exploration. The behavior towards self-isolation and volunteer quarantine should be encouraged, which are not encouraged in many countries. Now I'm going towards the next netizens and social media. I predict that the next major outbreak, whether of a highly fatal strain of influenza or something else, will not be due to lack of preventive technologies. Instead, emotional contagion digitally enabled could erode trust in vaccine so much as to render them mute, to deluge the conflicting information, misinformation, and manipulated information on social media should be recognized as a global public health. It is one of the things which I also wrote my letter to WHO in this regard, that the misinformation and manipulated information and information, these should be treated as global public health threat, because the many theories about COVID-19, even I don't know whether it is there in Indonesia or no, but in countries like Pakistan and India and even some of the Western countries, they have many speculations and theories about even the president of America is supporting these theories. So this can lead to severe mistrust, severe outbreak. Even if the strain is not fatal, even if the disease is not fatal, this will make it fatal. In recent time, enormous interconnections through online social networks can potentially generate real-time image, which should be considered an important tool for tracking the pandemic and for making interventional campaign whenever needed. But here is I'm adding these things. New info media ecosystem of today world, popularly termed as social media, can also have some disaster effect on the control and outcome of infectious pandemic within days of the onset of the COVID-19 outbreak. Because if we look at the history, it is the first time in the history that an COVID-19 outbreak comes to the existence, and we have the mass media, especially the social media. So it is the first time. So after COVID-19, it will have a disastrous effect on the population. Even if it is a common flu, they will consider it as. Therefore, many people they are trusting social media, and many people, if you see the media in the pandemic, the role of the media, they are spreading misinformation and manipulated information instead of information. So this needs to be addressed. The Director General of WHO has referred the coronavirus infodemic, which is breeding fright and panic by lying out, unchecking, mind-boggling rumors and flamboyant news, propaganda and sensationalism. The most important thing, mismatch between the available facts, sheets and deaths. Clear-cut data can be compiled to encrypt information from the unreliable and dubious but readily available social media source. It is very important. As soon as COVID-19 emerged, become a trending, it is also very important point that many bloggers and YouTubers and groups and personal users, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter and whatever they are, started the business of making profit of COVID-19's popularity in many impulsive and unpredictable courses of action. It is also an important point. It needs to be addressed. Since sensationalism is appealing contents draw the most attention of the population, severe user find contraception to gain easily popularity, and thus the purposefully sowed mass confusion and panic. This is what they are doing business in the number. The other thing which is very important, the healthcare seekers are too much perplexed, catastrophized, and morbidly worried about COVID-19 symptoms, and that is normally running out of the mass disinformation address. These state affairs, all these things are about the social media. I don't have time to read all the slides, but if you see the outline of this slide, the social media played a very negative role in these days, which gave stigma, shame, stress, multitude of mental health problems, including health crimes even, and might be a direct consequences of the irresponsible behavior of the media houses and the netizens. So these to be addressed. Otherwise, the effect of the social media disinformation and misinformation will be far more than the COVID-19 on mental health, especially because social media cannot affect your physical health, but it can affect your mental health. So the first point is to be addressed. The other thing which I'm here to discuss, psychosocial impact on healthcare provider. The impact of COVID-19 on mental health of the doctors and the frontline soldiers which are fighting against the COVID-19. So these slides are very important. Also, the psychosocial response of the frontline worker during the pandemic is complex and incompletely understood. Studies regarding the 2003 SARS outbreak from Canada, Taiwan, and Hong Kong have discussed how the battle against SARS led to huge psychological morbidity among the frontline healthcare providers. I'm referring to the SARS because post-COVID-19 study we don't have, so post-SARS study we have, and the effects of SARS have much more similar to the COVID-19. During the 2003 SARS outbreak in Taiwan, nursing working in the SARS unit suffered from more depressive symptoms, insomnia, compared to those from non-SARS unit. And same is the case in the COVID-19. The doctors and nurses and frontline soldiers who are working in the COVID-19 hospitals and the quarantines and these wards are having more than expected the symptoms of depression and anxiety and insomnia and self-isolation than the all other doctors and healthcare providers. Even after, even the 3 years after the SARS outbreak in 2003, the significant number of the related hospital workers in Beijing and China, they had PTSD as per the study. Similarly, unavoidable stress, fear, anxiety about a poorly known contagious disease outbreak like COVID-19 can be provided at the higher risk of the healthcare providers and frontline workers, including bankers, the policemen, the armed forces, etc. All those who are exposed to COVID-19 cases in the hospital, being quarantined, the death or illness of the relative or friend from COVID-19, and a heightened self-perception of danger by the lethality of the virus can negatively impact of the mental health of the doctors and nurses, etc. Medical professionals from heavily COVID-infected countries like China experienced huge performance pressure such as increase unfavorable psychiatric outcomes owing to sudden surge of the overwork, inadequate protection from the contamination, frustration from the failure to give optimal patient care, and isolation. These are the problems which I myself observed in the high infected cities or countries. Even in Pakistan, I had duty as a psychologist in Karachi. So these things we had experienced in the healthcare workers. Various types of psychological stress events associated with vicarious traumatization amongst the nursing staff have been reported during the spread of and control of the COVID-19 in China. The developed countries like in developing countries like India and Pakistan, where the healthcare system is already overburdened and is compromised, surges of COVID cases are likely to provoke acute anxiety, irritation, stress, and even insomnia and depression in the doctors and nurses. This is the major effect on the compounded by the inadequate hospital supplies and the hygiene tools and significant shortage of PPE among healthcare workers, high risk of transmission. All these things are we are facing it in the healthcare provide, and even to my clinic I have encountered many senior doctors and nurses and the policemen and the forces and even the bankers who are frontline to the they are facing severe psychological issues. Another thing which I am now discussing, the point due to I'm not reading all the things, you can read it later and you can ask me questions in this. Additional, the competency of the mental health to the newly employed fast-tracking medical students, especially residents, to overcome the manpower shortage should be monitored with the utmost care. Needless to say, proper psychological well-being to the doctors in this time is very essential. This point should be noted by all of my audience and listeners. Every doctor, every frontline worker, and every healthcare provider should be provided proper psychological well-being during the pandemic and even after the pandemic, even during the duty and even after the duty. Now I'm going towards the major part of my slide, that is the effect on different sections of the society.
Sorry, Dr. Zaid, you have 10 minutes left.
Yes?
You have 10 minutes left.
Okay, I'm making it short. There are many effects on the different sections of the society. I have distributed into 5 parts: children, old age, domestic caregivers, and marginalized community and general public. There are 5 parts of the society which are highly affected by the COVID-19 mentally: children, old age, domestic caregivers, marginalized community, such as migrants, daily wagers, slum dwellers, and prisoners, and general public. Now, I am in short, I will give a short about the children. Developmental psychological researchers found that the children during the pandemic, they will get fear, especially, and PTSD. These 2 things are the major which affect the children. Some programs such as the closing of schools and parks and playgrounds will disrupt the children daily lifestyle. So this will promote confusion and distress and even some sort of anxiety. Now I'm going towards the old age. So in old age, the notion of older adults, people with serious comorbidities are particularly worth, because as the studies shows that COVID-19 affect more people of old age than the younger one. So the psychological impacts on the old age is anxiety, irritability, excessive feeling of stress or anger. Even they may become more anxious, agitated, and socially withdrawn. For that, old age people indoor exercise and potential therapy. This is very important. Now the domestic caregiver are also very much affected psychologically. Secondary traumatic stress reaction, fatigue, fear, withdrawal, and guilt may also be in the domestic caregivers. Other than this, marginalized society such as migrants, daily wagers, slum dwellers, and prisoners, they are the part of society where the mental health is already compromised. They have 200 times more risk of getting mental issues during this pandemic than the other people. So they will affect them very drastically, and this effect will be continued from for a very long time. Other than this, we have general public. So general public will have some of the most common psychological issues, such like fear, frustration, helplessness, anxiety, and loss of sleep. PTSD is one of the most common, which will be after the general public. In the last, I would like to conclude my one thing. One slide is this effect of people with pre-existing psychiatric illness. That is very important topic, and those who are already suffering from psychological issues, even special children with autism and other intellectual difficulties are more than anyone. They are in danger towards mental issues in this pandemic. Role of mental health care workers. Now, this is the point which I'm going to conclude, and future direction. In this pandemic and after the pandemic, the role of mental health caregiver and mental health care workers such as psychiatrists and psychologists and counselor and coaches will be needed more than ever in the history. And from this, because we are in the 21st century, it is the era of emerging pandemic and the era of pandemic of mental illness. Remember, the 21st century is the era of emerging pandemic of mental illness. The psychological and social preparedness in this pandemic carries global importance. The government and stakeholder must appreciate the psychosocial morbidities in this pandemic and assess the burden, fatalities, associated consequences for the psychologists. Stigma and blame targeted at communities affected by the outbreak may hinder international trades, finance, and relationship. So we must also take care of this. Due to care needs to be, stigma must be erased, and the psychological and social care providers, the counselor, the coaches, they must come forward they are needed more than ever in the history. So these are the short outcomes of the direction which I have written in this research. I would like this to be translated and to be provided to the different students. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. I am not very good in communication in Indonesian language or Malaysian language, so that's why I am giving my lecture in English. Don't forget to write me. I am always available to help my community especially, and to help humanity. Here are my contact details, WhatsApp number and the email and the LinkedIn profile. So thank you very much. Fi amanillah. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khan. It's a very clear explanation from Dr. Khan. He said that psychosomatic symptoms could be happen in this unpredictable situation, and it needs the role of many parties to handle it. Well, we will go to our next speaker. Corona pandemic that occurs globally makes the economy more difficult, not only related to physical and mental health, but this pandemic is slowly having a negative impact on the finance, including family finances. To discuss this problem, we invite our next speaker. We have Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN. He is a lead trainer at Ilham Rosayu PLT Malaysia, and he will deliver material with the title What We Can Do at Home, Technopreneurship and Self-Healing. I will read a summary of curriculum vitae of Dr. Yunus. Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN Yunus. He is a professor of guidance and counseling at UTEM until May 2020. He is also visiting professor in our university, Universitas Lambung Mangkurat, Indonesia, from January to December from January 2020 until December 2021. His latest academic qualification is PhD on Guidance and Counseling in University Putra Malaysia. He has connected to many professional affiliations, such as registered counselor by Malaysian Counseling Aid, counseling practitioner by Malaysian Counseling Board, Malaysian Counselor Aid, and many other professional affiliations. He received some awards, such as gold medal on Malaysia Technology Expo, on integrated personality profiling system, and many other awards. He was also Dean in Institute of Technology Management and Entrepreneurship, University Technical Malaysia Melaka. And he has so many intellectual property. In list, he has 5 intellectual property registered. And so many publications on journal, article, indexing, and citation, such as Scopus, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and academia.edu. To the Honorable Dr. AHMAD ROZELAN Yunus, time is yours.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, let me organize. First of all, I'd like to thank you, University Lambung Bangkurat, as in specific the Faculty of Medicine, and also to the Rector, Prof. Sutato, and all the main officers in ULM. I wish everyone Assalamualaikum and also a very good morning. Thank you for inviting me today in the sessions of very good sessions where we can share many talks in our own field, and I would also like to thank the Dean of Faculty of Medicine and the Wakil Dean or the docent, everyone here, and also the students. Can I have a problem of sharing my slide here, so let me have a few seconds organizing it. Okay, so my slide is not okay. No. I need to organize my own slide from here because there is few animations in it. Then I hope I can still. I'm working on it now to show my slide to everyone. One moment, please.
Can we help you?
Yeah. I just the problem is when I try to bring the slide in, the slide is not there.
Okay. Have you opened the slide, sir?
Yes, I opened the slide.
And then you can click present now.
Yes. Yeah. I open it now.
And then you just open the slide, and we will see your slide in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the versions of PDF versions I send, but actually I need to do some innovations in my own slide. Let me try again here from here. I think Afian, you need to switch off your presenting first. Let me present it from here. Okay. Okay, working on it. Sorry for making you waiting, everyone.
That's okay.
All right, yeah, I'm here already. It's here already. Okay, can you see?
Yes, it works.
Yeah, all right. Let me start here, everyone. Before that, I wish everyone will be in good health. We are neighboring country, and I'm happy to have to receive these invitations, and I wish that everyone will be benefited from sharing from these 4 speakers I heard that you're going to be. So title given to me is United Against COVID-19. What can we do? We are many of us now will be, mostly our time will be at home. And so the things that the organizer like to me to speak of about the technopreneurship and self-healing. All right, so let us start here. I'm going to introduce you first of all, the rules to be united against COVID-19. What is the rule? I like to suggest these two things here. Number one is self-assessment. All right, self-assessment. We need to have assessment, we need to understand us, everyone, ourselves first. So I'm going to share, probably this is very common in management, the technique of SWOT analysis for success management. And the other one, I will try to share a technique in counseling and also in therapy, which is called the REBT. Maybe some of you are familiar with it, which is going to spell out into 3 sections. Number 1 is critical incidents, understanding the critical incident. Pandemic, COVID-19 is critical incident to the world, to the mankind. It's never been our human mankind. I think we are lucky in a way to say that we are going through this process in a way to positively looking at it. And then I also like in adaptation technique, we focus on belief, which is affect our emotions, because as Dr. NAVEED mentioned earlier, that we have humankind will be more affected emotionally. And next one is the adaptation of new normal. So these 2 segments of my point today, I'm talking to you how to unite against COVID-19. First, I start with self-assessment. I just like to introduce this. Mostly of you already understand what is actually SWOT analysis. It is more to management technique. SWOT analysis, which this is everyone familiar with this, SWOT, S stand for strengths, W weaknesses, O opportunity, and threat. This was introduced, many authors credit to Albert Humphrey, who introduced this technique, who used the technique of analysis of assessment, self-assessment. And in management schools, in management program, academic program, this is very basic. And even I also guide students who like to go into the interview process. You must elaborate yourself by SWOT analysis. This is where you will cover everything. Okay, let us go through what is actually we can think of about this SWOT analysis. First, SWOT. Okay, actually, this is what is S. Usually, we ask these questions: what do you do well? What things that you are good in, and what unique reason can you draw on? In our situation in the pandemic COVID-19, we know that we need to something unique, our strength, our own effort, our own goodness into what we do in our life. And what do others see as your strength? We also must take into the serious considerations of people around us see us. This is strengths by M. Humphrey. And the next one is the weakness. Yes, many say that, many thought that we cannot expose our weaknesses. We are not exposing our weaknesses. We are trying to take advantage from that weaknesses or take actions from that weaknesses. Weaknesses is usually we ask, what could you improve? All right. What we need to find something that actually you can improve. And what do you do have fewer resources than others? Maybe you have less skills from others. What are others likely to see as weakness? See your weakness. You need to know what is people categorize you in certain weaknesses. This is for the good of you. We to take action on it. And next one is opportunity, which is by the word itself, we know that something that we can get benefit from it. Opportunities are open to you. What is opportunities are around us? What is in the pandemic time? What is the opportunity we have? Do we can do something from here? Do we can make money from here. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We can help people more here. The opportunities. So see what opens to you. What trends could you take advantage of? You see the trends, the pattern. Now I believe that most of us agree that a pattern of doing business is more into the online trends. So this is some opportunities which I can share. I think many of us already understood this. How can you turn your strengths into opportunities? Okay, this is something. Go back from here. Is actually what is actually you can understand from your strength and take advantage of these opportunities. And the last one is the threat. What's something that can harm you? What around us that can harm us right now in the pandemic time? And also, what is your competitors? I mean, the others doing? What are other people doing? We are not doing. So what threat do your weaknesses expose to you? Your weakness make you into certain situation. What you need to understand that what if you are if your health, for example, is below is very low, then you know that is the threat to you. So take action on it. Okay, this is how we can express. This is the principle of SWOT analysis. And now I would like to hear from you for us to understand better of this SWOT. S and W is about our internal, our strength internally in our self internally, and also opportunities and threat is external factors. So we understand these two. Okay. During pandemic, what is our internal, which is our strength? Entrepreneurial skill. Some maybe you have some entrepreneurial skill. You know that how to do business. I believe a lot of students in my universities, previous universities, they are doing their own business and effectively, and they success in doing their business, small business. They can survive with doing with all the online. So some of us already have something, products, for example, books. If you have something can sell to others, students, you have notes. You can sell your notes. You can share with people. You can make money from that notes. You see, and also if you have something in your family members, you have from your families, you have something can be a product to sell. So this is, you see the strength. And then produce marketing video, or some of us have a skill of doing videos. You become YouTuber, sell YouTube, make videos and sell. People in Malaysia, one youth in Malaysia, he stopped studying because he achieved 400,000 ringgit Malaysia, roughly how you convert into Indonesia, per month. He stopped his study. It is not good to say about that, but he stopped studying and go into producing his video. You can go into YouTube. You can search for, I forgot the name. He is from Kelantan. Very famous videos, drama spontan. He calls it drama spontan in YouTube. He just make money 400,000 per month, ringgit Malaysia, 400,000 per month. He can buy many cars for himself and his wife and his parents, and just because of making videos and sell into YouTube and online, put it online. Maybe this is your strength. So get to know of it. And strength can overcome the threat. In the principle of SWOT analysis, where you see strength, your strength, where we have what strength we have, can dispute the threat, can overcome the threat. Okay, in pandemic time, in pandemic COVID-19, we afraid of, we scared, we be cautious of to get not to get infected. Okay, this is some threat. So because of people are avoiding to get infected, they buy things. They prefer to buy things online. So this is where, from the strength just now, using online business, online marketing, online product, you can take advantage from this group of people. And another threat is more people now like to need to learn the new normal, the new way of life, avoiding old normal. So this is a more sometimes go shopping into the shop, into the mall is not today's life already. So people buy online. This is some threat which is also can benefit it here with our strength. Okay, next we go to the opportunities. I go to opportunity first. Opportunities, there are a lot of things. You can just click on YouTube. You can just learn yourself how to become marketing, online marketing. You can all in the YouTube or in the online on the website. So this is one opportunity I can think of today, and that is the most one right now. And this is can overcome our weaknesses from when we lack of knowledge of this e-marketing, online marketing, for example. You can learn from YouTube. So you see how the interaction of strength can overcome the threat, and opportunities around us, can we take it to overcome our weaknesses. So okay, so when you can describe yourself, analyze yourself, do assessment, self-assessments on yourself with these four SWOT, SWOT, then I think we are okay. I just want to give you one simple example of my students. One student came to me asking me, "Sir, I'm going to go. I'm having a job interview tomorrow. Can you help me?" And then I coach him using this SWOT analysis. You analyze yourself with SWOT. SW is yourself. OT is the external factors of the company you want to go. You are going for the interview. Study the opportunities and what threat. So interact it with your strengths and weaknesses. And fortunately, this guy succeed in the interview, and he's already 10 years now working in the organization because of he just do his capability with SWOT analysis, sharing in the interview process. Okay, this is coming back to the COVID-19 environment. So we should be able to understand the scenario, how is our strength, looking on it. Okay, I'm going to number 2 now. Point number 2, the adaptation process. Just now is the assessment. Now, from what we understand ourselves, how we can adapt with the current environment. I want to introduce this is quite classic therapy technique in counseling. I think in psychology you also came across it. REBT, rational emotive behavior, is very classic by Albert Ellis. Some of us call it as ABC technique. I would like to explain a bit first. REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy, is a process of you understand the activating event, the belief system, consequence of that event by the belief system, and the therapy process is disputing the belief. Okay, so let me share with you the detail way. This is the principle of REBT. Teach how to identify thoughts that result in upset feeling. In upset feeling, we are having a feeling, upset feeling. So identify the thought. We are focused on the thought. Sometimes the event is not so making you so upset. but the thought making you more upset. Teach to think more rationally. Actually, this REBT is making people to go into the rational aspect of all things around us, and examine should, must, and oughts that were blindly accepted by people. This is words where you need to avoid. I must pass my exam. Who say that? If you think that I must pass my exam, then you are going to be affected. If something happen, it's not happening like what you wish. So the must is considered irrational. The should also irrational, unless by that terms that will make you work harder. Then it's going to become positive there if you see it. When I know that I must pass, then you are going to work harder. That is good. But just even you take it, you must pass your exam without doing anything, that is irrational. Right? Something must, should, and ought is irrational. So sometimes people just blindly accept because without effort, without thinking, without understanding well whether it suit yourself, then is blindly accept is irrational by REBT. Humans are born with potential for rational thinking, but also crooked thinking. Right? We are being created be either way. Then many will fall victim to irrational belief. We have a lot of irrational belief in our thinking, so we become victim of it. Therapy is a process of re-education. You see, and now we are most of our what we do sometimes is not relevant anymore. So we re-educate ourselves. For this example of the pandemic situations, we really need to re-educate ourselves. We need to learn something new. We need to relearn, or maybe to forget, to leave behind what is actually the normal things that we used to do before. This is a rational thinking of how we to do accept our environment right now. Belief system is cause of emotional problem. ABC is activity event, and from the activity event you have some belief. First is the belief. You have a belief. For example, when I study hard, when I prepare, I will pass examination. If suddenly you fail your examination, or you didn't do well in your examination, so the event is you didn't do well in your examination because of the belief that you say that you must pass, the consequence, the C, will be negative. So here ABC is something more derived by the belief. The event is not important, and the B is cause, not the event. Pandemic is not what caused our emotion, but our belief from the pandemic will affect our emotion. That's what we can see from this REBT concept. The pandemic starts going to be without whether we do something, whether we're not doing something, the pandemic is there. So now we need to take care of our belief, re-educate our belief here. So here the behavior change is after that, DEF. Disputing it, correct it, the irrational thinking, and from that the effects and also become the new feeling. So let me describe this with this example here. The A is event. So let's say the event now is we are facing pandemic, all right, and we have certain belief here. The belief in the earlier stage of it, we believe that okay, this will going to affect our life. We are not going to do anything. So the new normal will be affect our life. This is some irrational. We cannot think. So we don't think that we are in trouble. Not really. Okay. So some of us will affected. We have a good feeling. We have certain feeling from it, from the B, from the B. It's actually from the B. From the consequence is not from the A. A is just bigger. The belief system is now the process of to re-educate is to dispute. Now I'm giving you example of what Malaysian government, Malaysian people doing here. I think Indonesia and also in other part of the country of the world also doing the same thing. But I would like to share what is Malaysia in disputing. In this case, how Malaysia dispute, how individual in Malaysia, how I look at in this pandemic. So this dispute the irrational belief. So what is most every day, all the time, we are being posted by these remarks. Avoid 3C. Malay is 3S. The S of Malay is sesak, sempit, and sembang dekat. So we avoid the 3C, which is sesak, is confined places, right? And then sempit is confined, crowded places, and also close conversation. So we avoid that, and we practice 3W. 3W is mind the word spelling. The first W is wash, second W is warning, third W is wear the mask. All right. So this is being posted all the time. Nearly 3 months already or 4 months already. Every week we listen to this. This is disputing. Be giving people to how to work on it, how to take care of it. And another thing in Malaysia, we I think in Indonesia too, we have this specific. PKP is stand for Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan, meaning people cannot go out. Only one people with reason can go out from the house. So this is a process of disputing. I can see that this is very effective because we can dispute the irrational belief. We can, by the example, by the result of this event, can dispute the irrational belief. And PKPD is D is stand for diperketatkan. Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan diperketatkan. This is for certain area, certain province in Malaysia. If there are more cases, they for the specific that place, they ketatkan, they strengthen the lockdown. And so the other one is PKPB, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan Bersyarat. Meaning that we with reason, with good reason, we bring documents, we can allow you to move around. And now in the zone of area of PKPP, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan Pemulihan. We are giving until 31st August. We see the cases. If the cases is going back now, a few weeks in 1 week behind. Latest we saw in Malaysia that the cases is raised now. Last week we have only 2 cases, 3 cases per day, but now today we have 2-digit number already. Yesterday 21 cases, 16 cases like that. So they are worried. That is, but we giving the government always remind us, and this is what every day been done in Malaysia. Not now in the first 2 months time when we start pandemic at 18 March. The KP, the Director General of Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, every day giving the data in television, live telecast every day at 5 p.m. in the TV. We do live telecast from the DG, Director of General of Ministry of Health, telling people what is our stations, giving data. So this is bringing belief to many people that, oh, we are going good. We are going fine now. We are improving. This data is quite helping. This is the way I call it dispute, something belief. People worry, there are a lot of people worrying about their health. But when they be given a good data, a positive data, there will be some way of there will be a good way to tackle to dispute the belief. And the senior minister of security also everyone every day be giving in first 2 months he also do press conference every day to the giving the people of Malaysia every the SOP. Every day they will give new SOP. Today they give, okay, we start with wearing mask, 1 meter distance, everything, and every day they will give. So this from the senior minister who are giving the SOP of Malaysia. So, and yesterday I heard that we are compulsory wearing mask from 31st of August. When we are at the house, must wear masker. If you are not wearing masker, they are going to straightly fine you 1,000 ringgit. Straightly fine, no what we call, no warning anymore. This is given by the senior minister every day. Now this 3 months to 1 month back, they are giving only 3 times per week the press conference. So every time we are being updated what we done by the government and by the organization. This is, I say that I can see how to dispute, how to make people understand. Of course, we are fortunate Malaysian where we have only 33, 34 million people, so easy to control compared to Indonesia. But the information is important. And in this case of REBT, which I share you today, is in the group, how to dispute, give enough educate information to the people. And this is how healing technique. In my topic, you're asking how to get to heal. Okay, this is psychologically, we can bring people thinking of good to be healed. And of course, it's going to be effective new thinking and new feeling. Okay, so this is what I share from REBT. We have already from the beginning, number 1, we need to do assessment on ourselves. What is our strength, what is our weakness, and see what is opportunity around us and threat. And here is also psychologically not really psychologically using mind, rational emotive behavior therapy. Emotive behavior from thinking, use brain to decide, dispute what is not irrational. So I give him this example to everyone, how I can see this a way of REBT can take care in our environment right now. So this is as the way forward. We have new normal already. Most of us are buy through online already. My daughters, every day we are receiving parcel every day. Buy everything for her daughter online. No more walking into the mall. Just waiting in the house. We can use this. So we need to adapt to new life activities, and also government and organization support. We need to support each other. We need to support our people around the government. Example of Malaysia. Malaysia give a lot of supporting to the citizen and get to all information. Work from home. This is our new long distance interactions. So we need to get used with it. And our flexibility, so in terms of work, some office allowed 70% to come for work and some 50%. This is new things that we need to do. So finally, I'd like to suggest first is self-assessment using SWOT analysis, adequate information, fit all our people around and ourselves, the quality and quite good quantity of information. And finally, we adapt with the new norms. This is something we unprecedented, so we need to do it the new way. So I think people in the audience, many of you are still young, you're still capable of. The problem is people like me, the 60s, 70s. They are very hard to make use of all the new norm. Okay, everyone, I conclude my suggestions of these two. First, do self-assessment, and then find ways, a technique to dispute your belief. We need to accept we cannot change around things already. Thank you very much. I invite any questions from the audience. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Yunus. It's very interesting to talk about economic matters and technopreneurship during this pandemic at home. Okay, for all participants, if you have any question, please keep your question because we will have discussion session at the end of this session. To closing this session, I will conclude the presentation from our speakers in Bahasa Indonesia. Dr. Khan menjelaskan tentang beberapa poin. Salah satunya adalah poin penting selama pandemi ini bahwa masalah-masalah psikologis ternyata juga bisa berpengaruh lebih besar daripada virus itu sendiri. Kondisi-kondisi yang unpredictable seperti yang terjadi sekarang ini bisa menyebabkan kecemasan, stres, dan respon-respon psikologi lainnya terhadap kondisi yang berubah secara random. Dan ini dapat terjadi pada banyak orang. Batasan-batasan psikososial seperti saat karantina dan isolasi juga bisa menimbulkan kondisi-kondisi seperti marah, bingung, kesendirian, atau frustasi. Dan kondisi-kondisi ini memerlukan informasi-informasi yang benar sehingga bisa memunculkan perilaku altruistik terhadap kondisi yang harus dihadapi saat ini untuk meminimalkan stres dan stigma. Oleh karena itu, penggunaan sosial media, kemudian informasi-informasi yang didapatkan dari media memegang peranan penting terhadap informasi dan misinformasi yang juga dapat berdampak terhadap kesehatan mental. Dr. Ahmad Rozelan Yunus menjelaskan beberapa poin. Ada pedoman yang bisa kita lakukan untuk sama-sama memerangi COVID-19 yang bisa kita lakukan di rumah. Ada 3 poin penting. Yang pertama adalah melakukan self-assessment atau penilaian diri. Tadi beliau menjelaskan tentang SWOT analisis. Apa kekuatan yang kita punya, apakah entrepreneurship skills, kita bisa membuat suatu produk misalnya, marketing video atau hal-hal lain. Kemudian apa kelemahan yang kita punya, opportunity apa yang bisa kita ambil dari kondisi ini, dan apa traits yang ada pada kondisi ini. Jadi keuntungan-keuntungan ini, kondisi-kondisi seperti sekarang ini juga bisa memunculkan keuntungan-keuntungan baru, misalnya dengan marketing online, atau juga bahkan bisa mengatasi kelemahan atau weakness yang kita punya. Misalnya kita bisa lebih mudah belajar via online. Kemudian poin kedua yang disampaikan adalah kita memerlukan informasi yang adekuat secara kualitas juga secara kuantitas. Dan poin terakhir yaitu melakukan adaptasi. Kita menggunakan pikiran kita untuk melakukan terapi terhadap perasaan-perasaan yang irasional. Seperti yang dijelaskan tadi, salah satunya dengan REBT, yaitu Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. Okay, by reading the conclusion, we arrive at the end of the presentation season. Then I let MC to take over the event. Once again, I will say thank you very much to our speakers, Dr. Khan and Dr. Yunus. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ratna. Ladies and gentlemen, our two speakers have addressed the material, and now we will open a question and answer session for 30 minutes. To the audience who want to ask, please mention your identity and activate your microphone, or you can write your questions on the chat box. Two sessions will be open and each for 3 questions. And please do not feel hesitate to ask in Bahasa Indonesia because we will help you to translate the question. So there's a question on the chat box. It's from Wahyuna Sulaiman, addressed to Dr. Yunus. Well, I will read the question. It wasn't that easy as we think about work from home. It's really complicated when we have no place to go. Before pandemic, we work at our workplace and sleep at home, but it's just the same place to work and sleep for now. For real, it really makes stressful for us and our family. What should we do to keep our life work nicely as we remember before the pandemic? Dr. Yunus, would you like to answer the question, please?
Yes, thank you very much to Wahyuna for the questions. Just now I share in the REBT part and also in the SWOT part. Actually, the focus just now is on the entrepreneurial and also what we can do. Besides from your questions here, I can explain the explanations is by you can use also by the strengths you need to go assess your strength. What actually before this you haven't you are not quite explore, and now this is time to explore. Probably you start writing what is actually you went through in life. That will be make you busy, yourself busy. Your readings and do some things, and very basically minimum way is just busy, make busy of yourself, rearrange your house setting, rearrange your this is how the strengths and also the opportunity, the time you have also is considered opportunity. Time you have at home, positively you look into the opportunity. So this is how is SWOT and also REBT just now I shared. We can convey it into our personal life. Personal life is not only just to do business, going to assess your strengths. It's also you can apply it into your own life. Find your strength. Many of us busy working at old norm. Last time every 8 to 5 you go to office, you forget everything. You go to the lecture, you are not have no much time of thinking about yourself. But now is the time look back into yourself. What can I good in? For example, I've given a lot of thoughts in these 20 years, and this at the pandemic time I produced already 3 manuscripts. Just sitting down myself doing anything, and I keep busy myself. I just the 3 manuscript is ready for me to go to the publisher and try to publish it. So this is something from it. I think Dr. Naveed also agree with me. We have a lot of things that we never explored previously, then we can explore at this time and bring our family, our kids also, our family members to do the same thing. That is how sometimes, because we think that Mr. Wayunas asked, because we are still have a previous belief, and a belief that it's not rational right now. Our belief is very time based. This time is not. We cannot use the old belief already. We need to change some new belief. You need to check back whether the new we are still using old belief. I think that is how I can answer your questions, because you asking more about how to elaborate. My answer is just SWOT, understand your strength, and also see something. Is it relevant, that belief now? Is it relevant that you stay at home doing nothing, and so you're thinking about you need to go out, but actually you can do a lot of things at home. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yunus, for the answer. I will continue to the next question. The next question is from Rizky Zidan, and it's addressed to Dr. Khan. And the question is, in your perspective, sir, what is the best alternate psychosocial intervention for marginalized communities out there which are severely impacted during this pandemic? Thank you. Dr. Khan, would you like to answer the question, please?
Okay, the question is the best alternative intervention for marginalized community. There are 6 basic steps which I have also written in the presentation. Protection of basic human rights, number 1. Number 2, provide proper accommodation for homeless and marginalized and migrants peoples. And third number, adequate food and water supply from the government and NGOs and from the social welfare organizations. Number 4, affordable healthcare delivery, free or affordable healthcare delivery. Number 4, which is the most needed part of this, is educate about social distancing and hygiene to the marginalized community. And number 6 is deployment of mental health and social worker to address the specific need and if possible psychologists and these things to deploy these mental health workers and coaches to those people to educate them. There are 6 basic interventions for the marginalized community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khan, for the answer. I will continue to the third question. It's from Patricia Cecilia Suharto, and it's addressed to Dr. Navid Ahmed Khan. And the question, is there a way to make society trust government? The problem that I observe in Indonesia is that some people do not trust the government statements. So the official website that contains coronavirus credible information is being mocked. So it's basically the lack of trust on the government. So Dr. Khan, would you like to answer the question, please?
Okay, it is not the problem only in Indonesia, it is the problem even in the developed countries like US and Europe and Germany and even in Pakistan. How to overcome it? The basic thing is to control the mass media, especially the social media, and target the fake and disinformation and misinformation and to control them. Especially in Pakistan, we had this problem at the beginning, but the security agencies and these people, they have controlled the fake news providing people and pages and groups. So now somehow it is overcome. So how to build the trust? It is a long-term process. But if you reduce the fake and misinformation and produce the information, so the trust will be going on somehow, and it will be built for long term. That is the basic thing. To reduce and minimize the misinformation and fake news providing agencies.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khan, for the answer. It's already 3 questions, and if there's anyone who'd like to ask to our 2 presenters, then feel free to ask in the detail box. Okay, I will read the questions. It's from Ahmad Fauzi, and it's addressed to Dr. Ahmad Rosayu, and the question is, how to communicate the REBT technique to our college that has stress because of the online learning. Because his friends, it's more likely to complain about the negative sides of the online learning rather than looking at the positive side. Okay, so Dr. Yunus, would you like to answer the question, please?
Yeah, thank you very much to Ahmad Fauzi. All right, yes, REBT is a therapy where we introduce during a coaching session or counseling session where we coach people to do the technique. And by this technique, of course, face to face is the best way to do it. In the pandemic time where we communicate through online, it's quite difficult. But actually, I always believe that you can. The first one, as I said just now, in the case of Malaysia, we do things that reflects that is this shooting process. One of it is give as much as information to our friends. In psychology, in my field, in counseling, use a lot of analogy. Use a lot of storytelling, or probably share good videos to them. This is not if you can able to face, then you can teach them the REBT techniques. But at this time, the main thing of REBT is re-educate the belief. So by sending them videos, by sending all the good notes, all the good things to them, is one way also to dispute certain belief. Of course, we think that we cannot 100% to change, even straight away change their thinking. But actually, I receive a lot of videos for friends that which sometimes will make me think, give me a new thinking of those things. That's I can answer to the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yunus, for the answer. To everyone who want to talk or open their microphone, you can simply send a message in the chat box, then I will present it to you. So I will read the next question. It's from Muhammad Taqwa, and it's addressed to Dr. Khan. The question is, we know in status quo that many of health workers got infected by COVID-19 and mental disaster, while hospital burdened by so many patients. In your perspective, what is the best solution to minimize the stress, anxiety, and even depression that health workers have experienced? Thank you. Dr. Khan, would you like to answer the question, please? Six. Okay, while waiting for Dr. Khan, maybe Dr. Ruslan Yunus could answer the question, please.
In my opinion, the main keyword from the question is to best solution to minimize the stress, anxiety, even depressions that help to the health worker. In the experience of Malaysia, what I can say, I think all over the world also we can see on the televisions that we give a direct support, moral support. I can see in Hong Kong, they already, in many other countries, they give a cheer for frontliners, we call it frontliners, who health workers. And I think the best, most important is from our people, from the people itself. We don't so burden. If we take care of ourselves in a way that is already helping them. We are not going out. We follow the government's directions not to go out as we like, and do our social distancing. That is already helping the social workers. See, this is one way of how everyone can do it. And besides giving the moral support also. Okay. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ruslan Yunus, for the answer. Is there any audience who would like to ask to the presenter about our topics? Okay, if there's no one to ask anymore, I will close the question and answer section for. So there's another question. Sorry. From Dwi Utami Ium M1, and it's addressed to Dr. Ahmad Ruslan Yunus. The question is, as a student and a college student, we have so many ideas in our head to do many things, especially getting money to help our family. However, we don't really know what things we should do, what best thing that we can do during this pandemic after knowing ourselves by self-assessment. Do you have any suggestions, sir? Thank you. Dr. Ruslan Yunus, would you like to answer the question, please?
Yes, thank you. Good questions again here. Of course, when you do assessments, then you should be able to understand your strength and just focus on the strength. Of course, when you have a lot of things in your mind, that shows that you still need to decide which one you need to give the priority to do, to take actions of what you would like to do. But I can see from the questions how to gain more money in helping our parents, and we don't have anything what should do. We have nothing. We know. I think in today's life, you cannot just have a product. If you want to become entrepreneur, you become a middle person. You sell others' product. You sell other people product. You learn the technique. The new technique now is online. You find online techniques. You become middle persons. You become the moderators of people who selling. And give one very good analogy here. You see how is food panda in Malaysia, for example. Grab, for example, food Grab. You see, that is one opportunity which been grabbed by many of people around us. All right. So if you still have many things in your mind, then you need to do some more assessment. You need to find some guide, probably counselors, to choose which one is the best for you to take to do. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ruslan Yunus, for the answer. I think for the question and answer session, it's already over. And now we're going to the last agenda. And we're already at the end of our seminar today. Thank you very much for the presenter, Dr. Naveed Ahmad Khan and Dr. YUNUS for delivering us the materials and giving us new insights. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the international seminar today about United Against COVID-19, Pandemics and Psychology. Thank you very much for your actively participating in the seminar. And for those who want to get a certificate, you can fill the form that has been sent on the text box, on the chat box, sorry. You can fill the link and get the certificates. And I am Riana Fitarahimi SPC, as the Master of Ceremony, would like to apologize if there's a word error in saying and back to leave. Thank you very much for your attention. See you soon on other occasion, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.